Hello once again, it's Dennis from Planet Mosh. Spoke to you last in March, 10 months ago. A lot's happened since then. Four big gigs this year. Yeah. So it seemed very apt to get near Christmas time, talk to the three wise men of Vardis.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
My beard's nearly ready for when I do my deliveries on the 25th of December.
We've got the camels ordered, haven't we?
Yeah.
Camels? Three wise men on the
Oh, are we?
following the star.
Oh, yeah.
So just saying, but 4 gigs in less than 12 months, the 5th one tonight. So I'll ask you the obvious question, you the main guy that started it all rolling again. Did you think it would ever get this far after the first rehearsal?
Not really. We just played and did bits and bobs in the first rehearsal, and just as well, let's have a go. Rowfest came and it's just moved on. So we didn't really have any expectations to start with. We're still really.
I had some expectations.
Well, I do.
We had expectations. No, we all had expectations.
Ever the optimist.
No, we did it for a reason, and that reason was quite simple.
Let that reason be love.
I thought that actually, Donny Osmond.
We just
Can't talk just now.
Just singing the Osmond.
Okay.
We were just having fun.
Rather than Osmond tribute band.
And I think in a way, it was a surprise to us that musically, if that's what you can call it, we still had that same adrenaline and energy within that music, and that surpasses any expectation for us because
Age.
Yeah, because music's one of the very few things that makes you feel like a 16-year-old again.
Oh, I'd like to feel a 16-year-old again, wouldn't you?
Oh no, Terry!
It's a family show.
Operation U-Tree, mate.
No one's listening.
Who do you think you are?
Just started.
Well, they used to say
Just fell from the top branch.
I just tell people I'm new. You won't tell nobody that Steve from Vardis has done this, will you? No.
You'll have to cut that
out. Dennis,
It's hot in here, it's hot, and I love this sofa.
No, it's one of the very few things, to be serious, that, and it's the same whether you're watching a band play or listening to music, whether it's on the radio or you're on whatever. It's one of the few things that is like a time machine, and it puts you back in that frame of mind that you had. That we all grow older and we all get wiser in a lot of ways. But music makes you giddy again, doesn't it?
It does.
And as a kid,
Even bass players.
Never stopped being giddy.
No.
Is that what you said? Giddy.
Giddy's a word that you could
Giddy
do,
up.
isn't it?
Giddy up.
Vardis.
You're on the 3rd floor, so you.
Where are
You're on the 3rd floor, so.
That's it, yeah. The windows are slightly open as well.
Yes.
Yeah. You got suicide hands as well,
Yeah,
so.
Sounds like a documentary about a band called Windows. Remember, like, the doors are open, the windows are slightly open. They're not as good as the doors, but there's open a little bit. That sort of thing you could imagine that being on BBC 4, 9 o'clock.
But 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Oh yeah, early. Yeah. No, I've been giddy for quite
There's
a
going to be a lot
while.
of cuts here.
Dennis is saying.
I know a man that can edit this sort of thing anyway, so. He's also he's a good photographer as well.
I'm not good at maths.
Yeah.
Any history questions, I'm up for that.
Yeah, it's amazing to be back here.
It is.
It's amazing to be back here, and that window just brought it all back when I walked in this dressing room, because obviously they've done a fantastic job out there. That refurbishment is unbelievable. That ceiling, that ceiling was never exposed before. That wooden ceiling like that, it had a false ceiling back in the late 70s, early 80s. And they've done a fantastic job restoring it. But when I stood here and the dressing room's the same, that window, and I thought, oh God, it was just like going back in time, just looking at that.
Combing your hair in it.
In
the 80s, yeah.
That's the one, mate.
So after Blowfest, you went on to play Keep It True in Germany. Was it?
We did.
Was that your first time in Germany you played?
Yeah, it was first time in Germany. We'd sold a lot of records in Germany. but we never actually got out there. And we're excited about doing it. It were, a bit of a challenge in a way, just to see and interesting just to see what sort of response we get. And it was just crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
German metal fans do like their old music anyway.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
No, they were amazing. And it's been great everywhere. Really, we've enjoyed the reception, haven't we? We've just enjoyed the fact that people have rekindled that in us and
remember us.
Yeah.
Really nice.
You had a good reception at the Hard Rock Hell Festival. So full room.
Excellent. Enjoyed that immensely. And that's what it's about as well. We've got this album to mix now and finish, the studio one, and then when we get a release date finalised on that one, we'll be looking at maybe doing a few shows to profile that
on the live album as well, yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But the live album probably later in the year. I'm not sure. I think the studio one will be out first.
All right.
And then the live one will come out later.
So you would do like a double CD digipack with a free guitar and a backdrop.
Yeah,
Life-size posters of me.
I mean, there's talk of all that. We don't know really.
Has anybody ever done a Dead album? See what I mean?
Dead album, yeah.
You think it would be
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead album.
Yeah. Well, the ungrateful Dead if they're dead. Yeah.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Talking of Hard Rock Hell, I noticed that Steve and Gary were watching Boys to Pop in the Vape area, but you were in your caravan watching a Deep Purple documentary.
I was, yes.
You get a bit shy about the new rock star status. You're a bit keeping away from all the newfound fame.
I was cold.
Yeah.
And emotional.
No.
No.
You never got a bass solo.
I have trouble watching bands live.
Right.
Because after about 10-15 minutes, I just want to play myself.
Right.
And I can't just jump up and join in.
But
So
could.
I have to go home and see to myself.
Here we go again.
What's that? Ronnie, you should sit here.
Play a bit louder.
Yeah.
Play a bit louder, Steve.
Play bass, Ronnie. Play out the play now.
Yeah. No, I wish I had watched Michael Schenker because I didn't realise, what's his name? Chris Glenn, bass player?
Yeah.
I didn't realise he was with him. So
Yeah,
he was
good
like,
job, yeah.
He got a similar vibrato. And I didn't realise he was with him.
Well, Chris Glenn on bass, mate.
Yeah, and he had Francis Buchholz and Herman Rebel from the Scorpions.
So watching it, but I didn't realise it was him on bass.
Yeah.
He was also in Alexander.
That's right, yeah. What comes around goes around.
Yeah.
So have you been spending today then, just relaxing? Or?
Yeah, relaxing.
Yeah.
Watched the High Chaparral.
Yeah.
High Chaparral.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's not High Chaparral.
That's Bonanza.
No, that's a fiery horse.
That might be the
speed of light. I own silver away. Yeah, that's what I did today. Watched telly.
But I didn't really do much else.
Yeah.
You watched telly.
So you're expecting like a lot of, old sort of friends here tonight from back in the
Yeah, there should be some old friends coming up, all sorts of loads of people, there's quite a bit on Facebook saying, oh yeah, we're coming to see you and that, old friends, family as well, and two little grandkids coming as well.
Right, yeah.
They'll have their defenders on.
Is there any sort of extra pressure?
Say again, sorry?
Any sort of extra pressure because
No, just get out and play as we always do. Just pressure. It's all.
Pressure.
Yeah, until you get paid, then it's pressure. Then when you get paid, then it's okay.
Well, we're just playing to enjoy the moment, and you wonder,
There's a whole lot of stuff that goes either side of playing. But the playing is the bit that you're actually doing all the other stuff for.
That's the easy bit, really.
Yeah, that's the payoff.
preparation,
all the
getting
build up to it,
all the build up
Yeah.
and stuff.
And,
I mean, doing the sound, we did the sound check yesterday, last night, so there's no we haven't done, we've had no pressure for sound check.
No, it's been ace. I mean, it's been great. These guys here have done a fantastic job, and they've made it, straightforward, and everything seems to be coming together.
Sounded very good at the sound check as well.
So yeah, it's cool. I mean,
big PA system. Yeah.
all good.
We
All the top stuff. And,
when we did the number, a sound check, it sounded like there was about 10 of us on stage. Really, really good thick sound.
I think that's
what I mean.
That's one of the things with festivals, when you're not headline act, for example, in a festival, you're very lucky to get a decent on-stage sound. You sort of go in there knowing that, in a way, because it's very, you don't get the time to do the sound checking and all the rest of it that you do when you're headlining somewhere. So you have to just have confidence in each other and enjoy the feel of what you're doing, and you get a buzz just from being together and playing together, even if you can't hear everything as you like to.
You said to me at Hard Rock Hell after you said that you could hear your voice through your monitor on the stage properly. So,
I mean, that's the other thing. As a vocalist, it's something that I feel my voice has got stronger in this new phase we're doing at the moment than when I was younger. I had more of a boyish voice, obviously, but I feel I think I can experiment more with my vocal now.
It's a bit like when David Roth, joined Van Halen, because he didn't do all his, acrobatic anymore. He's singing better. You find that as well. You're not doing all your somersaults. You can sing a bit better.
No, and definitely, and it's like focused and concentrated, and I'm more confident about the range and power of my voice. Whereas in the old days, I suppose I never sort of thought of myself as a vocalist, really. I think I can improve my voice, and each time we play, it does get better and better.
At the end of the day, if your voice fits a song, then you're not right to your own scale.
And that's great. That's a great challenge and a great feeling that we have progressed. Yeah, we've got the same energy, and the adrenaline in the music, if you like, is the same DNA. But I think musically we're a better band now than we ever were. Definitely. I think we actually have that sort of a refinement in the music and how we play together. And
it's a second chance to do it again.
The confidence as well to experiment and allow live, especially live, the expression of what we're doing, and we never play exactly the same twice. Every time we play, it's slightly different each. There's very few numbers, in fact, I don't know many, but maybe repeated exactly the same. But I think that's something in music that I always enjoyed as a kid, buying music. Before I went playing in a band, I used to love the idea that you go and see a band live and it's unique. And I think we have to, we don't want it to sound like we do on the record.
That's right,
I mean, we toured with quite a few other bands, supporting and stuff. But I never forget one band. Every night they did exactly the same thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
Exactly the same, though it were even down to the jokes on stage or whatever the stage were exactly the same each night, and it's.
No,
we do all sorts.
I mean, good luck to bands that do that. I'm not saying it's wrong or anything, and I'm sure it works for them. But we're sort of from that tradition of blues and rock and roll, I suppose, where artists in blues and rock in the early days, they all, bar none, performed and expressed themselves through the performance, and whereas these days it's more of a theatrical production with some musicians and artists that tend to run it a little bit like a Western theatre show, in that everybody's got a cue and everything has to be bang on the cue and so on and so forth.
At the end of the day, you have to have the songs to back it up.
Of course you do, and I'm not saying that's wrong to do it that way at all, but it's just how we play more in a looser, expressive way. I suppose bands, maybe that's one of the reasons a lot of the older bands have survived so long as well, because people know that the shows are never the same. over the years, bands like the Rolling Stones or whatever have always done. People remember their shows, each one special and different in its own way.
Yep.
And I think a lot of bands will have that.
And of course, it's more generic. There's no sort of Pro Tools and that sort of thing, and drum triggers and backing tapes.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
And miming even. I mean, I'm not saying bands mime, but certain artists and singers are known to mime certain tracks, don't they?
Well, I know of a few younger bands now that use, backing tapes on stage and
It's
samples.
the same every night. It's like a painter painting exactly the same painting every time he does the work. What's the point in that?
Painting by numbers, isn't it?
It is. It's clever. Yeah. I'm not very good at them. What I used to do is when I got drunk, I'd move all the paint pots onto different numbers. Then you paint it
that's
like
good,
that.
isn't it?
What a rebel.
I always wanted to get two Apex kits like a tank and an aeroplane. Mix the parts. Mix the parts.
Oh, yeah.
Trading yellow.
I used to like painting the little yellow tips on the propellers of the Spitfire. Did you ever do a Spitfire?
It's a bit sexual, that.
I used to do the rocket ships one day.
Did you?
Yeah.
But the propeller on a Spitfire's got little yellow blobs on the end. Have you noticed?
No, I never got that. I did Flying Fortress.
Did you?
But that was all just silver.
Oh, is that
Did you
B-17, isn't
Did
it?
you have the Douglas Dakota with the little parachute man standing in the doorway?
No.
Oh, what a thrill. It's
We're
nearly Christmas as well.
back. Yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah, hint, yeah.
Yeah,
Billy the Kid
everything's
annual.
all
I
right.
like a Billy the Kid annual.
Vardis Rider, 3 bottles of JD and 3 Airfix.
Yeah,
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorted then.
exactly.
Thank you, good.
Well, 1 bottle and 3 straws.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Not with him.
Oh no.
I'm a warrior. I'm still here.
He's a walking incubator.
I was a little bit poorly yesterday.
Yeah,
See
the
you
city
later.
Chester.
I'm all right
A
now.
bit under the weather.
A bit under the weather.
And then he's just give it to everybody else.
I have not.
So-
You'll have it all tomorrow.
So Steve's going to smash his guitar up tonight, aren't Steve?
Yeah.
You're going to set fire to your drum kit.
That's what you're going to do.
I'm going to eat a bar of chocolate while I watch.
Fantastic.
Have to make a nice surreal photo. Surreal, you won't believe it.
So I see you had a full-page advert in the local paper today.
Yeah.
It was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you never had like an open toss, bus ride or a piece the city presented to you.
Well, you never know.
You never
We've
know,
got these
yeah. If it
plaques
did, goes well.
on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, So there's Jane McDonald on it and the cribs and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you never know.
What are you like?
Vardis.
You do like Sunset Boulevard and put your hands in wet concrete.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right, yeah.
next to Cary Grant.
That's it.
Charlton
Yeah, Charlton
Heston.
Heston. Cherry Aubrey, the Charlton Heston.
A bit longer than mine. I tested it out. Yeah.
So back to the live album. Obviously,
Oh, yeah.
the last one was 34 years ago, 1,200 miles an hour.
It
Yes.
was.
So guaranteed overdubs. Is that the sort of thing you can do this
It's
time?
going to be.
There might be a few underdubs.
Underdubs, right? Yeah.
Bits we take out.
No
rather
dubstep.
than add on.
Yeah, no dubstep.
Guaranteed
Yeah.
underdogs. No, yeah, I mean, we wanted to just produce it in the same way, really.
Yeah.
Which was to just make recordings of several shows, with this being one of them. We did the rock and blues as well, we got that down. Instead of going onto tape, obviously now it was straight onto the hard drives,
Right.
but it's just the raw data from the microphones at the input of the mics,
Yeah.
and it just goes straight on the hard drive, and then obviously it's mixed and...
So you're choosing songs from various gigs then?
Yeah, I reckon.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see which ones have the right feel and
Right.
work out, because every gig's different and everything,
Yeah.
so we're open to... I mean, as I say, there's some good stuff from the Rock and Blues show, so
Yeah.
tonight we'll see what we get down, and we'll be using some of that as well, and maybe, we don't know if there's another show yet, but we're going to do it.
Right.
So,
Is that like a single CD or a double CD, or is it not too sure? Because obviously you've got a lot more material to play.
yeah, not too sure really.
Yeah.
I think the studio stuff will come out first.
Yeah.
I think people are waiting to hear what we've done and what we are now in terms of new stuff. Because although we've had a massive nostalgia trip and it's been incredible, you know, the buzz from that, and we've all enjoyed that. I think it's time to say, yeah, this is what we can do now, and this is where we're at now, so to speak, and put out the studio recording. I mean, from what I've been listening to so far in terms of the recordings we've got that we did in the studio down in Greece over the summer. It's sounding great. I mean, I really am pleased with the results. It's very live, but it's live in a studio sense. It's like when you listen to recordings made in the 70s, there's a very raw live feel to it, no matter which band it was, whether it was Zeppelin or whether it was Alex Harvey or Dirty Tricks or whatever. There was a very raw edge to those recordings, which in some ways has been over-sterilised in some of the productions that we hear today. For me, anyway, that's just a personal thing, and I was pleased that we captured let's say, the more traditional ways of making studio recordings. We'd rekindled that method. Obviously using the modern technology in terms of hard drives and all the rest of it, but it's mainly the practicality of the hard drive as opposed to tape, because as you're aware, 2-inch tape, analog tape, you get about 20 minutes on it, one reel, and each reel's a couple of £100 or whatever. You end up, I mean, I know that it used to be incredibly expensive tasks to produce albums back in those days, purely on tape cost alone, let alone the studio. But nowadays it's a lot more practical with the hard drive systems. But the microphones are the same. You see, people forget that in some ways that for all the technology and all the digital technology, at the end of the day, the microphone is the same as we were using back in the 60s and 70s. It's never changed. SM57s and Neumann microphones and drum mics, they're all exactly the same, and that's really what we're capturing is the performance. Audio recording, studio recording is about performance. We make the sound and then you just capture it as near to what you're producing as a band as you can get. And hopefully that's what we've achieved with this album, and I'm sure
So the new album, was it all written in Greece, or is it over a period of time?
Some of the tunes have been I've never sort of stopped penning tunes over the years, even though I stopped playing in a band or musically performing anywhere. I didn't bother performing at all for nearly 30 years. So I've always played guitar and strummed, and I've always had melodies and tunes that have come out in that sense. And I've always jotted stuff down and kept records of it in, you know, just for my own personal pleasure. But at the end of the day, I feel quite a bit there that we had as a base to work from.
Yeah.
And also there's one or two tracks that we did live that came out on 100 miles an hour that we never recorded in the studio, which we've had to go and put in the studio version, and then one or two of those, which is very pleasing actually, because some of those tracks are good, strong songs that have never been recorded.
Time.
Yeah. So we've done a few bits and bobs and experimented here and there, and we'll just see once it's mixed.
You're producing that yourself, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel I've always, back in the day, I never had the technical knowledge in a way, as many artists don't, to mix and record properly to the standards that you need, and it is a vocation in its own right, as we know, music production. But because I was working in education and I was working with a lot of top engineers and stuff at the time, I learned a lot myself, and I believe that now I'm in a position to be more proactive when it comes to the post-production side of music recordings and decisions and stuff about it.
At the end of the day, they're your songs, you know, you want them to sound, don't you?
And we want it to sound like, and we all want to feel the sound as we feel it as a band. And in some ways, that's why I like Vigilante as an album, because it's the closest album that's recorded in the way we are as bands. The other albums maybe were a bit you know, Wilson saying Vardis was maybe a little bit too studio in some ways and too produced, whereas Vigilante album's a lot rawer sounding for me anyway, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm talking.
Have you?
It's alright, I'm having a drink. I'm better now. I'm better now. This is oiling the throat. I won't be coughing and spluttering anywhere.
It's not honey, is it?
No, it's quite nice. What is it?
Yeah.
IPA.
IPA.
It's
pink IPA, though.
Punk IPA.
Punk IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of mine drinks grape fluid.
Yeah?
Yeah. He says it can stop when he wants to.
Alright.
Pulls it all the stops, yeah. And,
Boom, boom! Passes that bass drum, Fred.
have you
No,
seen?
leave it there.
I was going to do it.
No.
So have you rehearsed extra hard for the show or not?
I've had a couple of bits and
I
bobs.
see like one of you got like a
I've been on
suntan.
all day more.
That's the mean, I just spotted the suntan, you see.
Yeah,
So
we
I thought,
don't
you know.
talk about such things, do we?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got it where we want it at the moment.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
So long you playing for? An hour and a half or a bit longer?
I don't know, something like
About 3 hours.
Yeah. 'Cause I know she played for an hour and a half in Pentridge.
that. Did we?
And there's still about 4 or 5 songs still left to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's never been our choice to stop running out.
I
Have
mean,
We've always been forced to stop.
We can't take no more.
No, no,
pay him off, quick, get off.
Except the bass player, let him do a
Get the
solo.
concert secretary to pay him off.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding.
What time are the main band on?
That's a good one. But I think he meant it.
I know. I was thinking then, what time are they on?
That's why we got plastic gloves.
Yeah,
That's
they're
it.
easily
Yeah.
fooled.
So what do you think of HRH?
Brilliant,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I've been to them all until they moved the site, but only really went because yourselves and folks who played this year.
He's determined to go to everyone till we do a decent set. I'll be there when they get it right.
You should be saying that, not me.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were on fire, not literally.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
I put in the review in it for Simon's article. I thought, you know,
Yeah, I've seen
especially
it.
you sort of came out of your shell a bit more for hard rock now.
I have
Yeah.
yet begun to come out my shell.
Yeah, must be the sea air that
Must have
a
been.
bit more awake.
Yeah, well, it depends what time we play, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
4 o'clock in the
So
afternoon,
a bit
wasn't it?
nocturnal.
Yeah.
If we play too
Yeah.
early, I'm not awake. No, if you get a good sound on stage, then you can really go for it.
It does help.
Yeah,
yeah, sounds good on stage, doesn't it? Well, that's right.
yeah. I'm hoping to catch fire.
Self-combust.
Very spinal tap. Yeah.
He is.
Exploding bass player.
I've told him to start smoking a pipe.
No, I don't
Bass
want to be
players.
like lukewarm water.
I always think of bass players as being the sort of ones that would be on open, what's it, University Challenge, sitting there with a pipe. Don't you think?
Aubrey, Nottingham University.
Yes, Aubrey, Nottingham University.
You should go on that, you know, Vardis from the School of Rock.
Yeah, we should have a University Challenge for bands, shouldn't we? That'd be good.
That'd be interesting.
Planet Rock, get it? Oh, we could have
I'm not sure about
the University of Vardis.
Some bands can be a bit silly.
They can.
But then again, like,
they're
if,
not on
like
that.
you versus Slipknot, you've got like 9 members against 3. It's not really fair, is it?
This is true. Well, we could also have a couple of crew members on there. Ronnie would do it, wouldn't you, Ron?
Standing by.
I'd never finish a question though, would it? Or an answer.
Hey.
It might not give you an answer to the question you're asking.
Yes.
Right thing about that's all I need to ask.
Yes,
really.
just what you want to ask is.
Yeah, fine, thank you. Apart from the price of the album, that's all. No, I'm only joking.
We don't even know where it's going. We'll see.
I'll be here to get a free copy. So.
He's not asking what we want for
Yeah.
Christmas.
No, he hasn't.
Right, like I say, thank you once again. Have a
Awesome.
great show and a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Good to
and
see you again.
You too.
see you in 2015.
You will.
Yeah.
You will.
Cheers, mate.
Yes.
Put it there.
Good stuff.
Nice one.